Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I am going to go over Bitcoin, but I'm also going to go to the TradFi markets, guys, because I think most people know by now, or probably, or those that follow my channel. And by the way, if you just landed here, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Be really, really appreciated. That are following my channel, that we're probably going into a correction. Okay. I mean, just think about it, guys, right? You went up into a leg. We had a pretty deep correction up into a leg. And that's probably not enough of a correction. And so it shouldn't be a surprise if it goes up some and then maybe comes down here. But I think we might range in with Bitcoin. All right. So I was doing a little investigation last night in the NASDAQ. And, I couldn't put my finger quite on the NASDAQ because something is going on there. I'm like, you have Google, good earnings. Google's price went up, right? Think about this. Google's price went up on good earnings. Microsoft went up on good earnings. And you have Tesla that's bottoming, which, by the way, you want some free common sense alpha for Tesla? Go look at the chart. It's like one little tick away from filling the gap at 146 or 147 or something like that. It's gone up at 5 and it's retraced in 3. Tesla is so easy. So go make a ton of money on Tesla once it's done with this correction, and I wouldn't just shoot for 146 either. It might just go down there and just barely miss it, like come to 140. Like if you had your limit order in a 146 flat or something, don't put 146 flat. Put like 140, 146.2 or 145.8. Don't put the flat number. That's what I do usually, but so you might have to DCA down into it if you're going to go for the stock. It depends on what you want to do. Just go look at the chart. It's common sense, guys. I'm telling you, buyers are going to come in and buy it. It's going to blast up into another wave. Who knows where it's going to end up at? But my point is this. Microsoft looks good. Looks like it has to do a correction. These tech stocks are actually looking pretty darn good, guys. So I was like, something's going on. I need to reevaluate the NASDAQ, what's going on. Bitcoin too, guys. So tech stocks go up, Bitcoin go up, right? Common sense. So here's the deal with the S&P 500, right? So you got a lot of people that are bearish on the S&P 500, okay? This is important for crypto. Why is this important for crypto? Because if the S&P 500 goes up, Bitcoin will go up. But if this is going to drop like a rock, Bitcoin, can it go up? You could say, yeah, there's an argument for Bitcoin could go up, but it's going to be a lot more difficult, guys. Think about that, right? So it's common sense. But right here, well, over here, no, this was the dump. Okay, went through. Where's October? Okay, October. Yeah, this was all the dump. Remember these? Remember these days? This is the crash, crash, crash. I remember this clearly. This was definitely the crash. This was the crash. I say, guys, that's a flat. That's a flat. It's not a crash. It's going back up. And then here was the crash. And then here. Okay, so on the S&P 500, right, guys? So here's the deal. In the middle of this big structure, you have a flat. Okay. These flats take up time. A three-way move, three-way five. Now, I got this flat, not from just looking at it. You have to do deeper analysis. I said that before, guys. You just can't get the true analysis of the S&P 500 and where its trend is actually going to be going just off this chart. You got to look at underlying assets in there of the S&P 500, okay? So if you think about this, the Russell 2000 is dumping. Right? Why is Russell 2000 dumping? What's in the Russell 2000? Regional banks. They're in there, right? They're in there and they're all dumping, dropping like a rock, dragging them down. Kind of like over here on the NASDAQ, guys, right? Here's the NASDAQ. Remember what's coming out of here like this? But the S&P 500 was going up. Look how good the S&P 500 went up, okay? So here's the NASDAQ. It just barely went up a little bit. Why? Well, the tech stocks weren't bottomed yet. They weren't bottomed yet. They're still struggling to get out of there. And then they started improving. Same kind of a little bit same thing with Bitcoin, right? It was struggling to get out of there, not because it was a struggle for Bitcoin. Well, the tech stocks were struggling to get out of there, guys. So here's my point. This is trending up. And then here's this leg here, and it went over, it corrected. This whole thing's a big correction, guys. It's a big flat correction that lasted this long, this correction right here, okay? So my point is this is a very, very good base for how many days? 103 days. So that's like, about 4 months, right? 120 days and 4 months. So for, let's say, 3.5 months that it went on for this, and now it's over here in this impulsive move that it did, right? So this is an impulsive move. It's a leading diagonal and then a flat and then impulsive move, and it's over here correcting it, okay? So it wouldn't be a surprise. So it just needs to correct this leg, okay, and come back down something like this. Could it come back down to 39.10? It could. It kind of depends, but this would definitely be the zone, guys, for it. And also in this area too, guys, this area right here too for it, okay? Because it could come back up a little bit higher and not correct as deep. It's going to depend on this other leg, okay? Could it go up again, even higher, and break the high and come back down? It could do that too, guys. Just kind of depends on how this is going to play out with the S&P 500, okay? However, this is going in. This is a trend over here, guys. This leg over here, you're going to get probably one of these over here, okay? And it's going to trend up. I still have long-term targets of 44, 42, 4,400, and a potential, if you can believe it, a 45 on the S&P, guys, and it's sitting at 4,000, okay? I know that sounds far-fetched, but that is possible. So here with the NASDAQ, I was looking at the NASDAQ, and it needs to sync up with the rest of the chart, okay? The chart. And I don't think this is in a wedge type pattern. I think it actually did the flat move right here too, guys. This is actually a flat. Here's its 3, here's a 3, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. The interesting thing about this and this flat move right in here, guys, just doing an investigation into this thing right here. The interesting thing about that flat, you see how it's flat? If you turn it like 45 degrees to the right, it'll be a perfect flat. The good thing about this is that this is probably more bullish than people realize. Okay, so it's swung here, back down. It swung up right here, and then it corrected over here, if you can believe it. So the correction actually is not here, went up and corrected there. It went to here, guys, like this. The NASDAQ went like this, okay? And then it went down here, okay? It swung up over here and went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Its correction over here on this leg is over here, okay? So let me show you something. This leg right here, it came back down and went back up and it corrected back over here. Pretty sure this is what's going on with the NASDAQ, guys. This is important for Bitcoin because if what I was thinking was this whole leg, this was a whole leg. And if that's the case, if this whole thing's a leg, then it needs to correct that whole thing and get back down here more than likely, something like that. I don't think that's going on. I don't think that's going on. I think the NASDAQ is going to be correcting this leg over here, guys. And it's just going to come down like maybe right here. So I do have potential targets on the NASDAQ, guys, of getting near 15K, 14 to 15K, okay, if you can believe it. And that syncs up with the S&P 500 over here too, guys. I know I'm going on about these. This is going to matter for Bitcoin, but definitely I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing 42, 4,300 this year on the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ is going to be going up too. So what's that mean for Bitcoin, guys? I think Bitcoin is going to more than likely, it's just going to be in this area. It's going to be in this area. You have a lot of people, they're still bearish on it, and they're going to be calling for, I think, below 20. I'm seeing like below like 20,000 or something like that, this area. You know, you could get wicks. 2580 is right on top of this whole area, guys. And also 2470 are definitely targets right there in this area. And you could get wicks down a little bit farther. But I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if it's just going to hang out in this area, like go up and then come back down like this area. And depending on how long this correction goes on. So you got a 3-way move here. We got one coming up. We could have another 3-way move over here, right? And then this could extend, and then you could get another one over here, and then you could get another 3-way move back over here, guys, and you could do something like that, okay? So that's how I'm looking at it with Bitcoin, guys. The reason I say that is that for Bitcoin, it's doing a pretty good job of getting the oscillators down here on that leg. It did a real good job of correcting that. So I think the only thing could come down a little bit more in that oscillator on the daily. And then if you take a look at the 2-day chart too, here's the 2-day chart. You can see this oscillator's gotten down pretty good on the 2-day. Okay. And then if you check the 3-day, here's the 3-day chart longer. See, it's getting down there. So it needs to come back up on a 3-day chart. You think about this on a 3-day chart, it can get back up if it does another move like this, guys, over here, right? So another move over here, boom, 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 and it can bring the 3-day down. So it's getting into the longer time frames, guys. So kind of like let me remove that. Here's the 4-day. See the 4-day starting to get back down there, guys. And you know, you could make a case of being extremely bearish because the weekly is all the way up there, but this doesn't reset except every week. So by like 4 or 5 days, maybe 6 days from now, you could see this all the way back down here again while Bitcoin is still up there, guys. That's how I'm looking at that. That's kind of what I'm paying attention to. You got to go through all the time frames for it because, you know, like the 12-hour, it's making its way back up because it had that pump, right? You go to a 4-hour, it went way up there and it's already correcting back down. You see, you kind of got to go through these time frames, get an idea of what's going on the daily. It's down there. So with Bitcoin, guys, I'm really thinking that it went up. I'm on the futures too, by the way. The reason I'm on the futures because it's a little bit more clear, you know. And the futures deal right here, this is more like a 3-wave move, okay? And everything is just more clear with it on the structure. So, and I think it's moving up into a 3-wave. We got another one coming over here. In the meantime, the NASDAQ and these guys over here are in a downtrend, temporary downtrend, okay? Same thing with the S&P 500, guys. You know, it could be here. Maybe this is a 3-wave up in a 3 and back down into another 3, excuse me, right? Or maybe it's 5, I don't know yet. Just have to see how it plays out, back up in 3 and get back down here, something like that. And if you think about this, this is definitely consolidating too, guys. You know, like here's May of 22, and there it is right there in the same spot. This has just been a trader's market for these guys. Trader's market, and probably have a reversal somewhere in that area, guys. So same thing with Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is fine. I think it's consolidating in this area for another leg up because these guys are going to have another leg up. The NASDAQ's going to have another leg up, guys. So is the S&P 500. It's going to have another leg up just for the fact if this is going to make a flat. So I'm going to take this and be as conservative and realistic as possible. Okay. And I take this off on the S&P 500 and this is the leg, this is the flat, and it's going to make it to 1-to-1 as a 44. Okay. 40 more than likely. And I don't have it on logarithmic. Okay. I don't have it on logarithmic. I took it off log because you usually want to do it for these assets. This is the pattern. This is the long-term pattern that it's making, guys, right here. Here's its leg. Here's this massive correction, and it's trying to get up into this leg right here, guys. But it's going to depend on how this leg unfolds. Is it going to be like this, make a shorter one, and then get back up and make that one? Because more likely, since this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's a diagonal type move or a wedge. And then back over here, is it going to be 1, 2? This could extend. Okay. See, that's the thing is the projection on my targets. Like I said, 42 to 44. And then here's 44. This can get up to 45, guys. It can do that. That's a reasonable target to hit 1.38. I wouldn't really count on 1.618 with the S&P. It doesn't usually typically make those, even though it can, but you want to go a little bit lower with the S&P, guys. So that's kind of the pattern I'm looking at. So that means Bitcoin, you know, it's up here, back down, up, back down, maybe. Could have a wick back down there, be back in this area, and then it's going to be off into that deal right there, guys. So you have a really good shot with Bitcoin, in my opinion, with those assets going up, that this is a 1-2 and that this is a 1-2 and it's in a second wave and it's going to go into a 3 and then maybe the 4. So when they have their massive correction over here, they could, right? They could, or it might, is it going to crash? Is it going to crash? Don't know yet, guys. But You just have to see once it gets all this done and this correction, what's it going to do going up after it gets up there, guys. So I would just be patient. That's what I'm going to do, is be patient. It's going to be a little bit boring for a little bit of while, probably. Even though it hasn't really been boring lately, it's been kind of volatile. But I do think I'm pretty, you can never be 100% confident in the markets because things can change so fast, especially in cryptocurrency market. But just based off this data, the S&P data, if you go to the Russell 2000, guys, the reason this is just going to nothing is because of the regional banks. Okay, the banks are dropping that down, and I think there's some maybe in S&P's counting that too. So what's going on there, guys? So that means that, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Just a little bit more weighted in here, and then it'll be probably getting ready for another leg up in Bitcoin, guys, in my opinion. So if you're going to be waiting for anything below 20,000 on Bitcoin, I don't think that's going to happen. I think realistic is 24, 25,000 on Bitcoin, guys, is probably going to be realistic with it. Especially keep track of your oscillators too. If it is a second wave, it probably will have another wave. I'll show you guys here. Just looking at the RSI, check your oscillators. You see this wave right here, it brought it down really, really well. You could have another one to go up, right, back down, get it back up, and it starts bringing it down even further, guys, and you start seeing the RSI say at 20, this area right here, like 30 on the daily, even 35 or 30, and it starts getting back down there again. That's really that's going to be more of the area to be checking it out, guys. Okay. And then once that happens, you'll have crypto Twitter telling you it's going to be going like that. Okay. So, the guys at crypto Twitter, they don't go over these right here. Maybe they do, or the NASDAQ. So that's why I'm confident on my ability to find out why Bitcoin is going up. It's going to be trending up that way, guys. So that's how I look at it. I know I'm a little bit long-winded on it with Bitcoin. So just going to be consolidating for a little while, guys. Try to find a wave that can go up and a wave that can correct itself while staying up there. Okay. What I'm actually describing to you is Bitcoin making hidden bullish divergence for what? Another move up, guys. That's what you want to be looking for when the asset goes bullish. Okay. Over here is different when it's going down. You look at it differently. Then you have to flip and go, okay, now it's bullish. What are I supposed to, where's it going to do? It's not giving off the signals that it wants to go down dramatically, guys. It's just not. Okay. It's making more of the signals where it wants to correct itself and continue on an uptrend. So far, things can change, but so far, those are the signals that are pointing more towards that way. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.